The new book, Intentional Presence, The Virtue of Affability in a Distracted World, explores how everyday acts of attentiveness, kindness, and genuine encounter can become pathways to healing and faith. Joining us now from Philadelphia is Catholic author and speaker, Ann DeSantis. Ann, thanks for joining us. Glad you're here today.
Monsignor, thank you so much for having me on CFN Live again.
You know, just when you think you've heard it all before, something new pops up. And this new idea of affability, you don't see a lot of spiritual writing about affability. How'd you come up with the whole concept?
It was the topic of my doctoral dissertation, which I finished in October of 2024 with Pontifex University. The title of my dissertation is The Virtue of Affability and Its Relevance in Modern Evangelization. So from that writing, which is over 300 pages, I wanted to come up with some ideas of books that were a little bit easier reads for most people.
Yeah.
And the first book that I wrote was Living Affability after the dissertation. And that book was published last year. It is a 40-day meditational book that has every day there is a quote, there is a call to action, there's a prayer, and a reflection every day for those 40 days, which you can do at any time. In fact, I was featured this past summer last year on CFN Live to talk about living affability. And then the new book, Intentional Presence, is a companion to that book. And it's the first time I ever wrote a book in the first person where I wanted to get a little bit more into some personal experiences. And so I just encourage people to check out these books because, as you said, it really is all about bringing Christ to others. It's about that intentional presence and trying to bring some more kindness into the world.
So give us a little broadening of what intentional presence is. Obviously, affability affects intentional presence. So it kind of goes together very, very well. So give us a little more on that.
Sure, absolutely. Intentional presence really is all about, at the end of the day, it's about active listening. Active listening is the way that we engage with other people, the way that we listen. We allow people to tell their stories without judgment. And I think that every day in all of our lives, we have those situations where people come to us, whether it's a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, maybe it's even somebody at church that is going through something. And when we can offer our time through that listening ear, that's the way that we can be intentionally present to others through our faith, right? Through being Eucharistic people, which it's all about our faith, of course, and about Christ's gift to us through the Paschal mystery of our faith. So that's really what intentional presence is all about.
I would give you two relatively extreme examples here. I know a couple of priests that when you speak to them, they're looking around to other people and say, is there anybody better I can talk to here, And you feel that, when you're with somebody who's not really giving you their presence fully, it's kind of difficult for me. It's just difficult to have a conversation because whatever you say doesn't really matter that much. Now, the contrast of that would be the new Archbishop of New York, Archbishop Hicks, who many people say is a very good listener. When you speak to him, he drills into you and he just is interested in what you're saying. He's not trying to dissect you, but he's present and listening. That makes a huge difference. Is that kind of the contrast you're talking about?
100%. That is exactly what it's about. And I think we can all think of examples in our own lives, whether it's people who are really good at it and people who are not so good at it. But what we really need to do is think about ourselves and how can we be like Christ in that particular way? How can we intentionally listen to other people and just try to guide them along? A lot of people are lost. And I was listening to the interview with Amy Grant that you had earlier on the show, and there are many people who are away from the church. And I think being intentionally present makes a difference in terms of trying to open those doors of the church and say, you know what, we want to hear your stories. We want to be here for you. And we want you to invite you back to the Catholic Church or even become Catholic. And I think we're also seeing that throughout the United States right now, that a lot of people are coming back to the church. So it is very encouraging. And I think that this book is something that can help people to continue on that journey of being missionary disciples for Christ that Pope Francis started. And actually, my dissertation the virtue of affability and its relevance in modern evangelization was really dedicated to his memory, because he was the one, I think, that put that idea in my head of doing this work and of trying to really look in the eyes of each person and being there for them and becoming better active listeners.
Now, in this world that's got so much distraction in it, and these phones that live at the end of our arms are so distracting to us, really, how do we practice this? Like, practically speaking, how do we get better at this?
Well, you brought up your phone, and that's a distraction for me. It really is. I mean, we all have to use our phones. We have to text people. We have to email. But I do think that being in the presence of a human being and of people is still very important in our lives, right? And that's why I've been on this show many times, and I'm so grateful. I did get a chance to actually be present on CFN Live last summer, and that was really a joy, because what would we do without things like Zoom? Here, I'm on Zoom on this program right now at this moment, and very grateful for that opportunity. But it doesn't take away the fact that we do need to be intentionally present and be there in person, have conversations, look people in the eye, and be better active listeners.
Tell us about this Catholic pilgrimage to faith and freedom in America. This sounds very exciting.
Thank you. So I'm the executive director with a Catholic nonprofit. It's called the St. Raymond Nonatus Foundation for Freedom, Family, and Faith at nonatus.org. It was founded by a religious order, the Mercedarian religious order. And what we're doing is we're doing a pilgrimage in October. It's October 6th to 15th of this year in honor of the 250th anniversary of our country. We are going to be traveling in the northeastern corridor of the United States, starting in Washington, D.C., traveling to Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and also Boston. And again, we will be visiting both those Catholic sites, holy sites, and also very important historical sites. So I'm inviting everybody to join us. This pilgrimage is through Trinity Tour Travels. And you can go to our website at nonatus.org. I have a pilgrimages page there, or you can go right to Trinity Tour Travels. You can Google the pilgrimage, the Faith and Freedom and America pilgrimage with the St. Raymond Nonatus Foundation. And I'm really hoping that many people can join us for this wonderful event.
Sounds terrific. Let us know how that went, too. I hope you come back and tell us about that, too. So the book is Intentional Presence, The Virtue of Affability in a Distracted World. And the website, Ann's website, is anndesantis.com. You can find out more about that. And you heard the other website as well. It'll be on our website, too, if you'd like to click on our website and find it as well. Ann, thanks for being with us. God bless this great work you're doing.
Thank you, Monsignor. God bless.